For most of his life, Ethan believed one simple word controlled everything: tomorrow. He wasn't lazy in the way people usually imagine. He woke up early, he had dreams, he talked about his grand plans. But whenever it came time to actually act, he always said the same thing: I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow he would start waking up earlier. Tomorrow he would work harder. Tomorrow he would finally change his life. And tomorrow, well, it never came. Ethan grew up in a small, quiet town where everyone knew each other. His father was a hard-working man, a man of calloused hands and a simple philosophy: do today what others delay. But Ethan, young and full of modern ideas, thought his father was old-fashioned. The world was different now, he believed. There was time, plenty of time. So after finishing school, Ethan just stayed home. He'd help out a little here and there, but he never fully committed to anything. When his friends asked about his future, what big things he was planning, he'd just smile mysteriously and say, "Oh, I'm planning something big." You'll see. What he never mentioned was that every single one of those plans lived and died entirely in his head. They were beautiful, they were ambitious, but they were never real. One summer, a local factory, a big one, announced it was hiring apprentices. This was a huge deal in their small town, a rare opportunity for a stable income, long-term work, and real, tangible growth. Ethan heard about it on the very first day. This is it, he thought. I'll apply tomorrow. The next day came. He woke up, felt the warmth of his bed, and decided to sleep in just a little longer. It's fine, he told himself. I'll do it tomorrow. A week slipped by, then another. He'd see the flyer in the post office and think, right, I need to do that. When he finally decided to go down to the factory, the sign was gone. All positions had been filled. He felt a small, sharp sting of regret, but he quickly pushed it away. It's okay, he rationalized. Something even better will come along. And years passed just like this. A series of small chances, big dreams, and absolutely no action. He was a master of mental preparation, but a novice at execution. His life was a collection of almosts and could-have-beens. Then, one year, everything changed. A sudden severe drought hit the region. The fields turned to dust, work became scarce, and money got incredibly tight. The weight of it all fell heavily on his family, and soon, Ethan's father fell ill. He could no longer work the way he used to, the way he had his entire life. For the first time, real, unavoidable responsibility came knocking loud and hard at Ethan's door. He stood by his father's bed and promised himself, promised his family, that he would step up, he would find work. He would take care of things. Starting tomorrow. But tomorrow came with the same old excuses. He was too tired. He wasn't ready. He told himself he needed to feel motivated first, that he couldn't just jump into it without the right mindset. One evening, as the sun was setting, painting the dry fields in hues of orange and purple, his father called him outside. They sat together in silence for a long time, just watching the day end. "You know," his father said, his voice calm and raspy, "I once waited for tomorrow too." Ethan looked at him, surprised. His father had always been the epitome of action. "And tomorrow," his father continued, his eyes fixed on the horizon, "it cost me years, not because I was lazy, but because I thought time was endless. I thought I had an infinite supply of tomorrows." That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. His father's words echoed in his mind. He replayed every moment he had ever delayed, every opportunity he had postponed. He saw a parade of ghosts, the different versions of himself that could have existed, the lives he could have lived, all of them lost because he chose the comfort of inaction over the discomfort of effort. The next morning, when he woke up, something felt different. There was no sudden burst of motivation. There was no lightning bolt of excitement. There was just a quiet, firm decision. He got up and he worked, not perfectly, not confidently, but he did it, immediately. That very day, he applied for every single job he could find, no matter how small. He picked up his father's old tools and cleaned them, learning the skills he had once avoided. He stopped waiting to feel ready because he finally understood that ready was a feeling that might never arrive. He had to create it through action. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Life didn't magically transform overnight. That's not how it works. But Ethan did. The change was slow, almost invisible day by day, but it was happening. Whenever the word tomorrow would pop into his head, a reflex honed over years, he would actively replace it with now, not because he felt inspired, but because he remembered the painful cost of delay. He remembered the look in his father's eyes. Years later, a very different Ethan stood on his own land, prosperous and green, watching his own team of workers finish a long day's work. He had built something real, something tangible from the ground up. Someone, a young man who reminded Ethan a little of his former self, asked him for the secret to his success. Ethan smiled, a genuine, knowing smile. He answered simply, "I said tomorrow one too many times, and I almost lost my entire life to it." He paused, looking out at the world he had built, not with dreams, but with his own two hands. Then he added, "So one day, I just decided to say it for the very last time. The truth is, tomorrow is the most seductive lie we tell ourselves. It promises a future self that is more disciplined, more energetic, and more motivated than we are today. But that person doesn't exist. There's only you right now. The power to change your life isn't at a future date on the calendar. It's in the next 60 seconds. It's in the small, imperfect action you take right now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for inspiration to strike. Just start. Because today is the only day you truly have. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider subscribing for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.